Terra's Story, Chapter 8. It was the birds that woke them next morning. Chattering and calling created quite a racket, and the pre-dawn wind chilled them awake. The fire was long gone, and of course, they had brought no supplies, so they drank from the pool and splashed their faces to get fully awake. Simeona pulled some dates and plastic containers of poi from her bottomless bag and placed them on a rock between them. They were quiet, processing the awakening of the world around them and who they were now in it. "Mamo, I need to go back," Terra's voice said, and though she was certain, she was still shaky about it. "Back where, Han?" Simeona questioned. "Back to the cliff," Terra replied quietly. "Where it happened." "Are you sure, Han?" Simeona responded. I need to clear the story so I can let it go." Terra's face was resolute. "Then that's what we do next," Simeona acknowledged. "Let's go back and get the jeep." "Thanks, Mamo." Terra turned and hugged her hard, leaning into the substantial strength of those soft brown shoulders. She shuddered when she recognized the place in the park where she'd run into Sam. She shuddered not because of that first rescue, but because of what happened there the next day. "He brought me back here, Mamo. He said there was information here we both needed. Like for me, it was making sure this beauty wasn't forever ruined for me. For him, it was looking for clues, where he came from, the creep who attacked me, and where he disappeared to." She looked around. Nothing much had changed here. "I sat in the car while he got the report. They didn't know who he was, but he'd left a trail of blood behind him. He stole a yacht from the marina in Kona, knifed a man, and left him bleeding out on the dock. Probably lucky he didn't toss him in the water. He was in the hospital." Terra started. "Actually, I don't think I ever learned if he made it." She shuddered again. "Anyway," she looked down the path to the cliff. "I started down this path." She stopped talking and began to walk. Simeona followed. The slope was gentle, but they would still be breathing hard on the way back up. A few feet down was a vista clearing with a concrete bench. Terra sat down and leaned forward, elbows on her knees, looking out to sea. Simeona sat beside her and waited. "I was sitting right here, Mamo. I was sitting right here when he came up the path. I saw him before he saw me, and I got up and ran fast as I could up the path. I saw Sam. He was just coming down, and he'd taken his uniform off. He was wearing swim trunks and a t-shirt with his hiking boots. I guess he thought we'd swim. I screamed, and he came running. By that time, the creep was close enough behind me, Sam could see him too. He ran toward me and pushed me to the side to get at him. The creep started running back down the path, Mamo, and I could see the knife in his hand again." This time a tear trickled down Terra's cheek. "I tried to stop him, Mamo. I screamed, 'Sam, stop! Don't! He's got the knife.' But he didn't stop, Mamo. He ran after that monster. I was so afraid. I knew how crazy that guy was. I saw when Sam caught up to him. I saw the man slash at him like crazy, and then Sam kicked his arm, and the knife flew away into the brush. The guy spun around and started running back down the path. Sam went after him again. Terra stood and strode down the hill, all hesitation gone. She reached a flat place and pointed to the trail below. Sam tackled him there, knocked him down, and sat on him. Terra inhaled the still chilly air. He was fumbling behind him with his belt, and I knew he was feeling for the cuffs he always had buckled to his uniform belt, which he wasn't wearing. There was a moment, a scuffle. Sam had the guy's arm twisted behind his back and was making him come back up the path. The picture was vivid still, but Terra noted that she was not hysterical. Even though part of her was reliving the story, she was fully in the present moment, merely telling the story. She was here with Simeona, being the witness to an event that changed her life. And there, Terra pointed to the twist where the path veered toward the edge of the cliff. "There is where the guy wrenched around somehow and grabbed Sam." Terra threw her shoulders back and stood tall, lips compressed in a bitter line. "Sam, they wrestled for a half-minute, but Sam couldn't shake him off. That's where." Terra stopped, took a deep breath, then continued. "That's where the son of a bitch threw them both over the cliff." The silence that followed was not silent. Waves still crashed on the shore below. Gulls still cried their complaints as they searched for food. The wind blew against the streaks of wetness on their cheeks, tugged at their hair, swooshed in their ears. Terra turned to Simeona. "I feel lighter, Mamo, like telling the story. Can you set a story free? I still feel it, but now it's like it's on my skin and not all tangled up in my belly. Is that how healing works? Simeona didn't answer right away. She lifted her face to the wind and just watched as Earth's personal star peeked over the horizon. Light flashed onto her face and squinted her eyes. A wave of warmth announced the chill was on its way out. After another moment, she nodded. Yes, Han, that's how it works. From the inside out. A layer at a time. Remember this, because when it hurts most is when you're pulling them weeds out of the garden of your soul. But then each time you peel off another layer, because humans are like onions, layers upon layers upon layers, each time it gets a little easier. Each time the dark that holds the good memories hostage loses its grip a bit more. And you don't want to lose those good memories, Han. The love Sam had for you is filled with gifts. Each time you reclaim a good memory, you'll feel his spirit, too. When you're deep in grief, you got a wall between you, a wall of anger that you lost him, a hunger for more of all you had, bitterness that it was wrenched from you. When you call forth the good stuff, you call him right back to you. Simeona looked sideways at Terra. I know you want him here, on Earth, where you could feel his arms around you, talk like you used to, all the ways humans can love each other when they're both in bodies, but accepting what is, well, that's the only way to move forward. And you know nothing stands still, child. I know, Mamo, but, God, it's been more than 30 years since this happened, my whole life. Terra stopped, astounded at the revelation. Yes, Han, this was why you went into police work. Simeona's words were a statement, not a question. We all knew it, Kali, your mama, me. We could see the storm raging inside you, but there was nothing to be done until it blew itself out. 30 years. 30 fucking... Terra blew out a breath. You didn't lose all those years, though, Simeona reminded her. You married. You got your beautiful daughters. You've had yourself some good times. Yeah, Terra agreed, but Jerry was never quite right. He tried. I tried. But we kept missing each other. Because he wasn't Sam. You tried, Han, but because you still had so many layers of hurt, he couldn't begin to be what you wanted him to be. Isn't that right? Simeona watched her face. Yeah, that's right. He could never be Sam. All at once, the tears were streaming down Terra's face again. Mamo, will I ever have another love like I had with Sam? Now that I'm letting go, I'm giving up the rage. She threw back her head. Oh, God, I still miss him so. Simeona nodded. That's one of the layers you're peeling away, Han. You're finally letting yourself feel it, and so you're healing. As to what's coming... Simeona closed her eyes and went inside to where Fesov. All lives, for everyone, with everyone. She opened her eyes. I think you are going to find a new love. You're going to be going about your business, your life, not thinking about it or expecting it, and he's just going to show up. She turned and reached over to move aside strands of hair blowing in Terra's eyes. And he's going to see you. He's going to get you more than anyone ever has, because you're claiming more of who you are than you ever have. She cocked her head. You got some healing to do first, though, because you can't be the kind of magnet a man like that needs until you're more whole yourself. Terra nodded. I feel it, Mamo, and I feel it happening inside me already. These shifts... Oh, Mama! What about her, Mamo? The thought sparked a current of energy that lightened Terra's face and activated several muscles in her body. She was nearly dancing in place. Simeona laughed. Yes, Han, we got more work to do with Mama. Or rather, she's going to do more work on us. Terra stared, still bouncing in place. You? She's still working on you, Mamo? I thought it was me? Oh, Han, Simeona laughed. You're never done. Of course she's still working on me. And of course we're both focusing on you because of where you are in your process. But the learning never stops, not even when you leave your shell and go back to the all. And you can be sure that I'm learning from you, just by watching your process, Terra. It's remembering, all right? But remembering with something new added in. It's a gift to me to watch you moving toward the place where life is fun again, where the learning is exciting and joyful because you know things are going to get easier and you're going to dream again, right? You got to have dreams before you can make them come true, right? She waited to Terra's acknowledgement. Terra's acknowledgement came with a big grin. Right, Mamo. Just because one dream died, that doesn't mean another dream can't be born, does it? Can't several dreams coexist? It's not a lineup, is it? You always said life spirals every which way, and you never know which perception of reality is going to pop up next. She felt the warmth of Simeona's hand grabbing hers and holding on tight. I only tell the truth as I know it, my Terra. She tugged her toward the path back to the jeep. And my truth right now is that if I don't get some food in my belly, there's going to be trouble in River City. Terra laughed as she tripped up the path behind Simeona. Me too, Mamo, me too. What's for breakfast? Can we go to Trader Jack's? I'd like something besides poi and fruit, no offense, and coffee. Please, 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 can we get some coffee? Behind them, a handful of gulls climbed the air currents, shrieking their shrill cry. In the water of the cove below, a family of dolphins chattered their playful laugh as they cavorted, and in the sky above them, though they didn't notice, clouds briefly formed a huge heart with what could have been the letters T and S inside. It hung there, sunlight streaming through, until the wind changed directions and it slipped away.